Live from the EA Graveyard, it's Super Gamekast 2. Now here's your host, Bronson Fiore.
What is up, everybody? It is Sunday, February 5th, 2023, and you are listening to Super Gamekast 2. I am your host, Bronson Fiore, joined by the always awesome Aaron Reynolds.
Always awesome and always ready. Everything's always ready and good to go.
We are never late. We are always on time. Hold on, I'm going to test some of my microphone here. Can everyone still hear me?
Yeah, yes. I'm glad we're doing this now during the intro. Yes.
Yeah. Sorry.
Make noises. Make noises.
Not that I didn't set my NVIDIA broadcast shit up. My bad.
Okay.
And I was using that desperately needs it. So.
Oh, I should check my broadcast. My NVIDIA broadcast. That seems to be on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
I've
good.
got my dryer going, and it's like right there, and you can't hear it. It's so good.
Oh, man.
Well, on the good mic, it's not as much of an issue, but that doesn't allow me the flexibility to move and do shit. So, and I've found that I'm someone when podcasting, I move a lot. Yeah. So anyway, I'm also joined by our mod mommy wielder, the band hammer, with new lights. It appears.
I've always had these lights. It's
You changed the
you
color?
turn them
like
on?
this. They can change color actually, and it's like a little click of a remote. I can have like green lights. I can have red lights. I could have these like purple looking lights with a little spot of red over by my window.
There you go.
Can't see it because it's like way out there.
They were
Very
definitely
nice.
there last week. I can confirm they were there last week. I don't know about any week
Okay.
No,
before.
they were
but
I don't know.
absolutely there. I was
Okay,
wondering-
I
Sometimes
need to
I have them
notice.
off
That's
during
my
the
bad.
podcast, but
Yeah.
I
Okay.
figured I'd leave them on.
I have
And then-
a long strip of LED lights sitting in a closet because I'm too indecisive to put them anywhere.
And that's always
Same.
hard.
It's hard.
And
I-
actually, everybody in my apartment, we all have one in our rooms.
Oh, nice. Yes.
So
this light just frames the couch. I wonder
Right.
if I can move this.
There you go. Look
There
at
it
that.
is.
Beautiful. Look at that.
yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that.
I've been looking into getting something like that. I've been looking into getting something like that because, like, my room has two settings, which is as dark as the darkest fucking dungeon, or because of streaming, I installed bright ass streaming lights,
Mm-hmm.
which just fucking feels like the sun is in my room.
Yep.
So I've been considering like getting some LED strips or some regular lighting strips and going from there.
Just put some
So-
strips, just around the edges of your wall. Make that wall that's behind your computer like white, and
Yeah.
then make the ones on the back. Well, I'd say red, but you're Alliance, so maybe blue.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. It's anyway, hey guys.
Hey,
It's been another week.
Real quick, Jesse, our HR ninja.
Yeah, I'm also here. Hello.
Hi. Have you turned off your NVIDIA broadcast where it like has you looking at the camera?
Oh no, I just turned it on. Literally.
Oh, you just turned it on. Okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Oh yeah. All right. Good.
Oh,
Good.
Jesus
I'm really
fuck.
invested.
Hell yes.
I mean,
Why wouldn't you be?
Fair enough.
Right?
exactly.
Bronson,
Fair
do you
enough.
have your lights
Entertaining,
on now?
goddammit.
What?
Do you have your lights on now?
Mine?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, okay.
Hold on.
I just want to see, look, we've been doing this a while. Oh, this is like some ceiling light stuff.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay. It's just
There
dark
we
over there
go.
today.
Yeah, it's really cloudy and flurries out.
All right.
So yeah. Because normally during the podcast, because it's so early in the day, I can let the sun do the heavy lifting.
Right.
But
Yes.
But
I
not
got some
today.
daylight
Yeah,
bulbs.
like yeah, these fucking bulbs are so fucking bright that, as you can see in this corner, it washes out everything on the
Oh,
camera.
Yeah. Yep.
Like you can see every little imperfection on my face.
Yeah.
So-
Streaming stuff. There's so much to consider when you're streaming
There
and
is.
making video content, like lighting yourself properly and lighting your background properly and staging things. And
I'm gonna be honest. It's like I can only speak for the content I watch, but the thing I really only care about is like audio quality.
Mhm.
I
That's
mean,
like,
sure.
You can have the shittiest looking video in the world, but as long as you sound good and are entertaining, I don't care.
I just find the extra details fascinating. Like, obviously, the biggest streamers are like, you make at least 6 figures, if not 7 or more, and you just have a blank ass room with like 3 items found. That to me is like distracting, but I also kind of like it.
This is what your shit looks like, and it's not good.
it's
Like a green screen is something else, but like when this is it, like come on.
it's
Guys.
you know, yeah.
So do you have a favorite streamer background? Because I definitely do.
A favorite streamer background that like I use or
no that you watch? Because like I love Maximilian Dude's
all
room.
the shit that Max has in his
Max
room.
Yeah,
is fantastic.
Speaking of streamer backgrounds, so I'm going to be tweaking mine for our new fighting game focus.
Okay.
And I obviously need to get a new wall scroll then, right?
Sure.
Because the wall scroll behind me is Zelda.
Yes.
And I got some Street Fighter ones I need to send you guys for your opinion, because I'm like, should I get one of these or any of these?
You should send some.
And then I'm just
me, yeah.
Yeah,
You
and then
get one of those big booty cami ones.
Yes. Yeah.
I actually
Embrace the degeneracy.
I thought about getting a just Dragon Ball ones, because that's just easy.
I mean,
there's so many.
Yeah.
I could literally just tell my friends in Japantown, hey, send me pictures of like what ones are available, and then I'll pay you ship them to me.
Need to get a big giant Kid Buu.
A big giant Kid Buu.
Or Gohan.
So the main on my team, like the person who does all the heavy lifting, is like base Goku. So if I can find one of Goku doing like the Kaioken, that'd be perfect.
It's getting him doing the Kaioken. That'll be the interesting part.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I've been looking into those.
Yep.
So yeah, because like I have a signed piece of Persona 4 Ultimax art that I could put up for like where the Infamous poster is. Yeah. I just need to get it framed first, and then after I get that framed, I'll get the wall scroll, get that put up, and then I don't know what I'm gonna do to replace the Doom poster. So yeah,
I feel like we talked about this before. I think Doom is literally eternal. You can. Who's gonna reject the Doom poster?
That's fair. But yeah, so I've that's been what it is, and we're hold on, something came in, by the way, everyone. So this came in.
We got a capture card.
Nice.
We have a capture card, so
All
I can stream more than 2 fighting games. Yay! Also, thank you, Elgato, for not cheaping out and including an HDMI 2.0 cable, because I was like, I realized that when I bought it, I was like, oh shit, does this thing come with an HDMI cable? Because I'm all out of 2.0 cables.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Does it do 4K 120?
It does 4K 60, which that's all I need for.
Yeah, that's all you need for streaming. I mean, well, it's more than you need for streaming.
Yeah, like and even then, like my TV does do 4K 120, but there's only one port that can use it, and that's not the PS5 port. That's the Xbox port, because that's the reason that I put the Xbox on that port is because that's where I play a bunch of shooters, and that's what benefits from it.
Yep.
Because because fighting games are always going to be 60 FPS, and the input latency is really low on the TV, so I don't really give a shit that much.
Yeah.
And then the other games I play on PlayStation are all like 30 FPS, big single player adventure games.
Sure.
So
for Evo this year, they're going to play Street Fighter 5 on PC at 144 FPS.
Cool.
What? Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, crazy.
Wait.
Sure.
What?
Why that?
I don't remember what the logic was. I just remember seeing that, and people were like, "Well, this is weird."
That is very weird.
Sure.
So
why not? What's the worst that could happen? Anyway, if you guys haven't picked up from our talk, we're working on fighting games over here.
We are.
Got that fight stick. It looks finished. It absolutely is not. I gotta
Yeah, a
get.
fucking big one too.
It's
Like you,
huge.
It looks so good though.
yeah.
Watching you put it together, and I've been like, man, I want to do this.
It's
I need one of these.
It's so much fun. That's why I got it. That's why I like put all this stuff together because it's so much fun to do. God, this thing is big and heavy. I have to stop messing around with the stick because it's like, oh
man,
my god, this feels great.
It's satisfying.
Yeah, are you gonna enjoy taking that thing on a flight to Evo in like a year?
So yeah, that's the thing is like I'm actually kind of hoping I get used to leverless controls because that would make flying. I would get another
a lot easier.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna tell you what a lot of people do in your situation when they fly is they just take the stick out.
That's what
and then put it back when they land. Yeah,
and that makes sense. You know.
Yeah. I'm controller baby, so I don't need to worry about that. Thankfully.
Yeah, and a lot of people play controllers, so like that. I just don't like having that third punching kick on like the shoulder. I think that's weird. If you can overcome
I'm not a fan of that either.
Like having the controller is like awesome.
So let me tell you. I'll tell you the game that had me overcome that.
Okay.
And it was this is before fight sticks were easily available for console.
Okay.
Or in general, and it was a couple months before Street Fighter 4 came out, and they put out Street Fighter 2 Turbo HD Remix.
Yep.
Oh, I remember that.
That's the way it was mapped, of course.
Yeah.
So that's the way I learned a lot, and that's what ended up being normal to me.
Right.
So.
You know, if you're able to take some time to get used to it, I'm sure it's fine. But also, there's just the fact of like. This is something in fighting games where you can make a fight stick and it's your fight stick, and I find
that part's awesome.
Fun. So
that's why I've considered doing it, but like I'm also just like the expense, and I know I would only use it for Street Fighter.
I have not looked into the full amount that I have paid so far, but it's got to be around 500, which was not what I was expecting.
Good. It was already too expensive when I was buying them straight out.
Yep.
Like, what I think, like, I was pricing out PS5 ones because of this little project we're doing. They're like, yeah, a good one starts at like $200.
Yep.
And I'm like, I'm good.
If you're good enough with the controller, just use the controller.
Yeah, like, the thing is like for Street Fighter, I do like a good stick.
Yeah.
But like I'm looking at this Conba Obsidian, and it's like $200 fucking dollars.
Yep.
That's a lot of money.
Ninja, you were sending sticks of like good. Here's a good like starter entry level, and it was like $200. And
yeah.
You know,
yeah,
like,
no.
If I wanted to not think about it, like absolutely, I would have just done it. But at the time, I was looking at these custom sticks and being like, if I'm already paying this much for a stick, I might as well get into the customizing aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, and I totally get that. That's awesome, but I would rather just like pay my $200 and not worry about it.
I mean, that's the thing is at the end of the day, I've been like itching to learn to play fighting games, and but I don't want to like do it without the stick. So,
well, and that's like, and the thing is the stick is the ultimate buy-in. Now you have to learn.
Right.
Like, yeah, it's like you have spent $500 on this.
You better believe.
And really subscribe to that. Subscribe to that sunk cost fallacy. Absolutely.
Hell yes.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Like I rewired all my fucking internet shit for the house, so the PS5 will be wired.
Yeah.
For fighting games.
So. Yeah, Bronson, were you saying you were thinking of maybe streaming Tuesday?
Yeah, I might do this Tuesday. It's gonna depend on how tired I am, how much other responsibilities pop up, but
that's fair.
Yeah.
I get my final components in. They're already actually in. They're just at a different location. So tomorrow I'm gonna grab them, and then probably tomorrow Monday night stream. Open it up, finish it up, and test it out. I'm excited. I'm ready.
Hey man, I'm if do we? Is there any crossplay games besides Strive?
Street Fighter.
Street Fighter 5?
Yeah.
I'll re-download Street Fighter 5 and if I'm available Monday, because I raid Thursday and Monday, but the thing is, the Monday raid is not like a permanent thing. It's something that could always get canceled.
Sure.
It's kind of like a flex thing versus Thursday, where it's like set raid day.
Yeah.
So like, if it ends up getting canceled, like I'll hop on and do some Street Fighter 4 or Street Fighter 5 sets with you.
I mean, I'm not gonna be able to do anything against you, but yes, if you
I'm
want
not
to...
good at Street Fighter 5. I assure you.
I know, but you're playing against someone who, like, I'm still learning the fundamentals of how you approach a fighting game. So it's like,
That's
it'll
fair.
be something. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, like I'm very green on Street Fighter 5. Anything after the first season is like nonsense to me. So
Okay. Well,
yeah.
anyone listening to this or watching the stream, hey, be ready for some. We got some Street Fighter. We got some Guilty Gear. Dragon Ball when they announced rollback, or not announced, but introduced rollback.
Yeah, we're probably gonna do a little Dragon Ball before that, just because Blazin and I have been talking about doing at least 20 matches for this achievement I need.
There you go.
So,
Yeah, you got to get some achievements.
Yeah, so like, because literally it's like that and the currency grind are all I need for Dragon Ball Fighters to 100% a second time.
There you go. Might
So,
as well make it put it on stream. Get that platinum or whatever. 1,000 points.
Yeah, yep.
Well, cool.
Yep. So look forward to all that. The more I watch this Tekken final, I'm like, man, I should play some Tekken.
Well, so
and then
Tekken
I'm like,
8's coming out eventually.
Yeah, and then I can play. Yeah, and then I can play Tekken and be like, all right, I fucking hate Tekken.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
I will say, them adding Akuma to Tekken though definitely made it the most approachable, enjoyable Tekken for me.
Sure.
Because he does play like Akuma in Street Fighter.
Right. Right.
So, yeah, I'm you know, I will see how that goes. I keep saying if they add Kazuma Kiryu from Yakuza, like they get that as a guest character, I will do everything in my power to get decent at Tekken enough to play him.
Is this a rumor? Is this a rumor that's going around?
This is a rumor that started like years ago, and then they keep saying, "No, that's not happening."
Damn.
Yeah, it's what I've been asking for a long time. But the Yakuza director has been like, "Well, Kiryu doesn't fight women, so it's not going to happen because you can fight women in Tekken." Well, he's left. He has left Sega, so maybe it'll happen.
Maybe,
yeah, exactly.
Maybe when the opponent selects a woman, it unselects Kiryu and blocks it out.
Yeah, counterpicks.
Yeah.
Fine, then do Ichiban. There you go.
Yeah, right.
You know,
that one guy who had 3 guns with one in his mouth.
Right.
Yes, Sajima. There
That's
you go.
His entire character. All his moveset is just switching between guns.
That could be pretty sick.
It would be pretty sick, actually.
I don't think it fits Tekken because, like, outside of Akuma, I think everyone uses some form of realistic-ish martial arts.
Whatever.
Anyway.
Gun kata. Get Christian Bale from
There you go.
Equilibrium and do
That's
some
right.
gun kata. Hell yeah. Come on.
So I do have a question about your stick. For your stick, did you get the one that does PS4 as well? Like, what board did you choose?
So it's a universal board.
Okay.
But I only bought the wire. I didn't buy the actual thing I need to put in the stick. But there's room for this in the stick for it. A PS5 adapter, but it connects to just about everything else.
Okay, because you're gonna need at least a PS4 one, if not a PS5 one, for tournaments, most likely.
If I get good enough to like enter into a tournament, yes, I will have implemented the PS5 thing by then.
Well, yes, I mean, but we're doing Evo not next year, but the year after. So, like, you know, like, just be ready.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we got some. You know, that's that. We got news to talk about though.
News.
Doing a little bit of news.
Well, shit.
We sure do.
Okay.
Here's
Black
now.
Catter says hello. Hello, Black Catter.
Oh,
Hello,
what is
Black
up,
Cat.
Black
Hi.
Catter? The blackest of catters.
Yeah.
So we're starting with that E3 news, right?
Yes, let's start with that
where-
E3 news. How about that?
Oh God, I could not. I just could not when I saw this. I was like, wow, so it's dead. It's dead, right?
Gone.
So
yeah.
Xbox, Nintendo, and Sony will not be a part of E3 2023, which is partially why when Phil Spencer was asked about it, he was like, yeah, we're doing something around that time.
Mhm.
And we might do a physical event, but we're not part of E3.
Phil Spencer or Jeff Keighley just whispering in his ear, "You have something you're doing around that time."
Just Jedi mind trick that shit.
something around summer, a festival of games of sorts, you might say.
It rhymes with E3.
Yeah.
We'll call it Key 3.
Just like I don't know what the purpose of this is at this point because like indie games don't really get shown as much there. Like that's a PAX thing more likely, and then like for everything else, like EA's not there anymore. I don't think Activision isn't there anymore. So like, is it just gonna be like Capcom and Sega and Square? Like what?
I don't. They do their own stuff now too.
Like, what is this then?
Yeah.
Like, what is the point of this?
Konami should come in with all their slot machines and pachinko machines.
Their pachinkos?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Sega could do that too. They're releasing a Persona 5 slot machine.
Oh,
there you
man,
go.
Okay.
I got an email about it, and Sega's like, take the survey. What's your interest in this? And I was like, none.
Just
0. It looks cool, but 0.
Lordy.
I swear to God, if this is required to like get the whole Persona 5 story, I'm going to be so upset.
That'd be the most
that would
evil.
suck.
That would be crazy evil. It's like, nah, you got to go to the casino.
They did that for Guilty Gear. There's a pachinko machine that has like huge story elements in it, and I'm like,
of course they did.
First of all, this isn't coming stateside.
That shit. Okay.
Of course they did, though.
That.
You know, like the very brief time I've spent learning about how Guilty Gear has conveyed its story, it just does not give a shit.
Why do people care this much about the Guilty Gear story? What the fuck?
And when you care about
It's
the
actually
characters.
kind of good.
Oh, okay.
Actually kind of good.
Press X to doubt.
The Axel storyline is probably the best thing.
Okay, I was not
Soul
expecting
Bad Guys,
that, but all right.
Yeah, well, in the video doesn't really cover Axel's storyline, but it's probably like the most impactful thing in the show. In the series of games.
What?
I say in the show because when you watch the story mode for Guilty Gear Xrd, XR2, Sign and Strive, it's like a 2-hour long anime.
I don't know. Some of the elements of that story are put into games that are not fighting games at all. It's like you really have to care to be jumping genres to be learning that whole story, but whatever.
Or you could just not. There you go. Problem solved.
Good. It's so good.
I'm not someone who's like into like I don't like playing The Last of Us, so like there's YouTube, but I don't care enough to go watch YouTube. This is definitely one of those things where it's like, okay, I'm definitely not like even no matter how much I like these characters, I'm not doing this. Like I have not sat down and watched the Kingdom Hearts videos yet. Like I don't.
Every time I think about it, I'm like, why is this 8 hours long? This is a summary.
See, you think of it this way. You could have been me though, where you played all the Kingdom Hearts games, and that's a bigger waste of your time.
No kidding. Wow.
I have played all of them. Except the stupid card battler one. That one can go fuck itself. But like, yeah, generally I've played fucking all of them. So ha 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 ha.
Which one's the card?
I've actually played Chain of Memories.
Chain of Memories. Yeah,
I've actually played that one, and you are right to skip it.
Look, fuck that game.
Fuck it right up the ass.
Wow.
I don't care.
This is the first I'm hearing of like big negative opinions of that game.
Just
Chain of Memories is bad.
Wow.
Chain of Memories is bad, and they should feel bad for making it.
As a Kingdom Hearts nerd, and you guys saw that photo that I posted around my birthday, like, as a Kingdom Hearts nerd, I can say, Chain of Memories can suck it.
Okay.
Let me. So hold on. Let me look through these games. Kingdom Hearts 2 is the best one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Followed by Birth by Sleep.
Yes.
Okay.
Then I would say 1. Then
Yeah.
probably Dream Drop Distance. Then
Yeah.
I would go 358 over 2 days. 3.
I'm still working through 3, so I can't say on that one.
And then the rest of it is and then the
Yeah.
rest from there. Yeah, the rest you don't need to worry about.
What about the mobile
Recoded.
game?
Union Cross.
Yeah, Melody of
Complete-
What?
Complete waste of time
These
with
aren't
Union
real
Cross.
video games.
No,
They
they
are.
are. Okay.
Melody
They
of Memory. Melody of Memory is a Kingdom Hearts rhythm game.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
It
Came out
came out
2
for
years ago.
Switch like a year or 2 ago.
Yeah, that thing's on everything. It's on the Xbox One.
Like, it was originally a Japan exclusive until I found out that it came out that September. And I was just like, what the shit?
Okay.
Actually, it came out in Japan November 2020, and it came out like in the States like 4 days later, and then it came out on PC the following year.
I used to care about Kingdom Hearts.
Over 140 songs from the series and the Disney worlds that are featured.
Cool.
The majority of tracks are those created for the series, with less focus on Disney. So there are featured in Disney worlds, and then new tracks were created for the game. And it scored fairly okay. Like, it's averaging a 79 on Metacritic.
And the only song in this game that anybody cares about is "Simple and Clean."
Yeah, of course.
What is the other big one from them?
There's one from Kingdom Hearts 2, isn't there?
The Sanctuary.
Sanctuary, and then the one for Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah, that one's okay.
If they added
this,
I like
this
that
is,
one.
Yeah, it's good. It's just not as good as the other two. Like, so here's the thing about Kingdom Hearts 3. So it's about a 25-hour game if you straight shot the story like I did. And, like, nothing in the plot matters till the last 5 hours.
Sure.
Yeah. That's what I've heard on that one too, and I'm like, oh.
You basically what happens is like, oh, sorry, you fucked up and failed in Dream Drop Distance, so I don't know, man. We're gonna go tell you to go fuck off for a while until the last 5 hours of the game, and that's when you go to different worlds and help different worlds. Like, you help Frozen World and you help Toy Story World.
Blackadder says, who knew that Disney and anime mashup games would get too big and weird?
Yep. They launched that way.
I know, but like
this is like when they said oh, the Final Fantasy VII director is the person working on or the Kingdom Hearts director is the dude making the Kingdom Hearts remake, or not the Kingdom Hearts remake, the Final Fantasy VII remake, and then you play it and you get all the way to the end, you're like, oh yeah, this
tracks. This tracks.
Yep, that guy is working on this.
Tetsuya fucking Nomura.
Fucking, you couldn't just done a straight remake. You had to do this Whispers fucking alternate timeline bullshit.
Whispers.
That said, I'm still gonna play Rebirth when it comes out in December.
Oh yeah, no, we're all kind of on the hook for that. Just Kingdom Hearts to me now, it used to mean so much, and now to me, all of Kingdom Hearts is just that meme of Sora standing there and Woody with his hand out going, "Let him cook." That's Kingdom Hearts to me.
Oh, that's the Toy Story final battle.
Everything else, whatever.
Kingdom Hearts, Kingdom Hearts to me at this point is just this franchise that was kind of up its own asshole, kind of like Metal Gear was, but it was still really enjoyable. And then I don't know why they decided to do it, but sometime around the second game after 2, basically, they were like, let's fucking ruin it. Let's ruin it.
You know, to me, Kingdom Hearts is a lot like E3. Irrelevant.
Irrelevant. Dead.
Oh man, that DLC for 3 was really bad.
Oh,
It was
was
really
it?
bad. Yeah.
Oh shit, dicks.
And the thing is like it like gives you a lot of good context and plot, but like man, does it suck to play.
Damn.
So yeah, that's that. That's
Yeah. Back to whatever E3 is gonna be. E0.
yeah.
E0.
Man, this sucks.
I'm surprised though. I'm surprised that they didn't say that E3 was dead. What was it, last year when they had Summer Games Fest?
They keep trying. I don't know. I don't understand.
Yeah, like, well, it has to be a money thing, right? Like that's where, like that's the only thing I can think of where I'm like, oh, this is just purely because like they make money on it and like they need to keep it going.
But like, what are the hopes of it making money now?
Little to none.
Like zero. Like not worth talking about.
I think most people see the writing on the wall, but they just don't want to
admit it.
I guess. Yeah.
Everyone's upselling it to everyone else while they get their next job lined up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, basically, yeah, that's essentially what's happening. They're like they're sitting there and they're going like, "No, man, E3," and then like out of the side of their mouth being like, "All right, key 3."
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
like that's you know, and whatever. Hey, the thing is I can't really like blame them. You know, like
well, no,
because like I even when I was at E3 years ago, right? Like that, which the last one I went to was 2017 or 18. Like even when I was at E3, like I very much was like, oh, this is gonna be dead soon. This is gonna be dead, especially the one when they open it up to the public, and like it didn't feel like E3 as much. It felt like shittier PAX, is what it felt like, and like it felt like PAX with all like the fun, weird side shit you do at PAX, and like you know you had Sony not do a press conference anymore. Like that stopped in 2019, I believe.
Yeah.
And that was a thing. So yeah, like all that combined, I don't understand why why they're doing this the way they are. I don't understand why. Just there's a lot of shit where I just look at it and I go, okay, I guess that's one way to go about that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yep.
But yeah,
it's just I don't know. It's rough because E3 has been
a staple to
just
the community for almost 3 decades.
A lot of memories.
Not really. Yeah, like, and if you want to talk about really ye olden times, like this is it's part of what got me into like writing about games and doing content about games. Is you would get that Nintendo Power or that Game Informer or that EGM, which was it would happen in June, and it was the size of a fucking novel.
Yeah.
And it had everything that was announced at E3.
Yeah, and it was just articles.
I remember those Game Informer issues.
Yeah, like I still have some of them in my closet of like E3 2004 and 2003, where it's like, yeah, man, check out this cool fucking footage of Halo 2, and like and like going. Oh man, you want to talk about fun memories? Like going on the Nintendo website to watch the Metroid Prime 3 trailers. The Metroid Prime 3 trailers in like a video the size of a fucking post-it stamp, because like fast internet at the time was like 5 megs per second.
Right.
So yeah, and most people still had dial-up, so they were posting the videos in a size that was obviously meant for dial-up.
Yep.
So yeah, like that like that, those fond memories are like all the cringe, like wha-bam, there it is.
So much
cringe.
Oh my god.
To this day we still talk about $599 US.
Yep.
Like
crab battle or
giant enemy crabs like in feudal Japan. Yep. The thing that totally really did happen. Like all that shit. Like and to see it go away is sad.
But what's funny now is I have distinct deja vu of us doing the remembering E3 thing like we're doing now, the last year and like the year before, and they just keep going.
Real bad case
Yeah,
of deja vu.
I'm just reminded of Rick and Morty, like, ooh boy, he's trying. Like that's what it reminds me of.
They're still going, man. Like I don't know, like
I would love to go to this year's E3 just because I'm more not because like it's gonna be a fun time or it's gonna be good content.
Yeah.
But because like I'm just curious, like
what's it gonna be like now?
Yeah, like because like the last year I went, even then I was like, this doesn't seem this is long for this world, especially with the public here. Yep. Like it feels like you could honestly get most of this out of PAX. Yeah. Especially because now you have a bunch of, people who are making doing my job fucking impossible.
Yeah.
And then
we should send an application in.
Yeah, okay. We definitely don't have the numbers for it.
No, we don't. Not at all. But who knows what they're accepting?
But yeah, maybe they're just desperate. They're just like, like they're just like.
Let's find out how desperate we are. We can be the bar. Will they let us in or won't they?
They let us in. It's low.
You know it's bad.
Oh god! So we got a video post in the chat. The new E3.
Yes.
That's pretty good.
I will say though that it kind of makes sense that we're saying that E3 is dead because lately everybody's been doing directs. Like Microsoft just had theirs this last month. Nintendo comes out with one every quarter. PlayStation comes out with one every quarter or something along those lines.
They can do whatever they want.
Yeah.
Yeah, because why would you do that way for about 1 million different reasons? Like, there's so many reasons on why you wouldn't do the traditional press conference. One, you're more likely to look like a fool, which corporate fucking hates, and then on top of that, it's more expensive, and like you just don't control the message as much. Like it's a no-brainer to switch to this. But that said, it's one of those things where this just feels like it's wrong. Like it felt wrong when they fucking didn't do the press conferences. Like when Sony didn't do a press conference, I was like, this feels weird.
Yep.
Yeah.
Feels so weird. Like it just like I've been watching Sony press conferences forever, and yeah. And then the last Sony press conference was super weird. They only showed like 4 games. It was like in this tent.
Yeah.
And it was it was very fucking just.
So that was the year that Last of Us 2 was announced, wasn't it?
Not announced, but they showed gameplay.
Wasn't when they showed the footage? Yeah, they had everybody go outside and into the tent so that you could be in an area that was like what was in the cinematic.
Yeah.
And they like did a live guitar performance from the dude who did the music for it, and yeah, like it was a bunch of stuff like that. Like it was very, it was very weird. And then they showed Ghost of Tsushima, and they did musical performances for each that were like tangentially related to the game,
Yeah.
And then they closed on Spider-Man footage. And then like that was the last one. It was this really weird, like, we're gonna show you 5 games that are coming out in the next 2 years, and they're all really hype. And I was like, all right, cool, I guess.
Neat.
Yeah, I did always and this was something that Sony was really bad about at the time. They've gotten a lot better. And then now Microsoft has gotten really bad about it, which is showing games that aren't going to be out for like 5 years.
Right.
Like I remember, like, if you want to talk about E3 memories, I remember there was like a period where like at the Sony press conference, I saw Spider-Man for 4 years straight.
Yep.
Or something like that. Like Final Fantasy VII, I heard people talking about Final Fantasy VII for like half a decade.
Yep.
Like it was. No, I remember like between my first E3 and my last E3, Final Fantasy VII Remake did not come out. Yeah, and my first E3 was the one where they announced it.
Right.
It was awesome.
Fuck. God damn it. Yeah. So I don't know. We'll keep looking, right? And then there's Keighley's Summer Game Fest happening around the same time.
Yeah, and I'm sure that will probably be a weird, interesting cross between what E3 was and the Game Awards, essentially.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
I just want I want all the companies to show their games off around the same weekend. Be a big event for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
But that may not be what happens.
Yeah, and then from a business standpoint, E3 was always really good for networking, but
whatever, I
it
guess.
is. Yeah, and it actually sucks for smaller publications because like E3 is how we got a lot of contacts back in the day.
Right.
Like that was like E3 was like marketing nesting ground.
Yeah.
Like that was like that is how we begged and pleaded our way to a Nintendo contact.
Mm-hmm.
So
well,
yeah.
maybe something else will pop up.
Yeah, here's hoping.
Here's hoping.
All right. Next up, hey Capcom, they're expecting to do a lot this year.
Are they?
A lot.
Oh
yeah. They are expecting to sell a record number of video games, more than 40 million units by April.
Huh.
I am betting they probably are giving Resident Evil a lot of credit for that.
Yep.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised if
Resident Evil Monster Hunter Rise on PC came out in January. That's probably a big part of it.
Mhm.
And then we got Resident Evil 4 out the last week of March.
Okay.
So yeah, I have a feeling that we're going to be getting a lot of positive feedback from Capcom about both of those as far as sales are concerned, and as far as reviews, because Capcom's been on just a fucking wild hot streak.
Amazing.
Like an absurd run. Like
so many good games.
Yeah, like okay, let you pull because you pull up Capcom, right?
Yep.
Over the past since basically 2017, right?
Oh sure, let's go all the way.
And you look at it and you're like, in that time period, you've gotten Resident Evil 7, you've gotten the Resident Evil 2 remake, the Resident Evil 3 remake, which wasn't as good, but Resident Evil 3 just wasn't as good as 2. The source material just isn't the same. You got Monster Hunter World, which a lot of people consider to be the best Monster Hunter. You got Resident Evil Village, which was absolutely spectacular. They've been doing a great job with their collections, doing stuff like the Capcom Fighting Game Collection, where like Redfall finally came to America. They've been, they put out a Phoenix Wright collection about a year ago. They've been really good. They've been really good about like updating other games like DMC5. Like the only thing I can kind of say bad about Capcom since 2017 is Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. That's kind of it. That's it. That's the only thing you can look at and be like, oh man, it's real rough.
Otherwise, they have been on a tear in a way that not a lot of developers are doing.
Yeah, and like it's fucking crazy. Like I have their release date list pulled up, and like okay, since 2017, right? Like since 2017, they did a re-release of Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. They did a bunch of Phoenix Wright games, a bunch of Mega Man Collection games, and then they did the Resident Evil collections, and then just Monster Hunter World, Street Fighter 30th Anniversary, the Mega Man X collections. They re-put out Onimusha. They did Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate. They did, they made it so you could easily access all the Resident Evil games. I have every single Resident Evil game on my Xbox playable.
Yep.
You can just get to all of them. Every single one. Like, and then you look at like their big marquee titles, like, dude.
Yep.
Like, just like Resident Evil 8 was awesome. Resident Evil 7 was also fucking awesome. Like
it's amazing what they're doing, and there's still more coming.
Yeah, like we're getting Resident Evil 4. Resident Evil Village Gold Edition was all right. The DLC wasn't great, admittedly, but it is what it is. But then like you look at Resident Evil 4, it's out in a month and 3 weeks. I'm literally taking the day off to play it. Well, I love Resident Evil 4.
I know. It's funny.
But yeah, so it's like Resident Evil 4 out in 3
Less than
weeks
2
and a
months.
month.
Yep.
Yeah, so like there's that, and then Street Fighter 6 is out in June.
Street Fighter 6 has a hype train behind it that is impressive, especially coming off of 5.
It is something else.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you know what? Admittedly, Street Fighter 5's launch was fucked. Completely admit it. The first season was fucked, but they got their shit together by season 3.
Yep.
They did. And yeah, and I'm even sitting here looking to play Monster Hunter Rise. Monster
Hunter Rise is good.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's really good.
And then they have the Capcom Fighting Bundle, which is that's another retro pack, and yeah, man, I don't see this ending.
All good things come to an end, but yeah, they are on a hot streak that is years long, and we don't have any signs of it stopping right now. So, good for you, Capcom, being good.
And it's really awesome because you look at kind of Capcom during the 360 era, and man, it was dark. It was dark.
They did release Street Fighter 4, which is attributed to starting up fighting games again.
But they also killed Devil May Cry in that era.
Street Fighter Cross Tekken was full of DLC that was on the disc.
Yeah, Resident Evil 6. I like Resident Evil 5, but I understand why a lot of people don't like it. Dragon's Dogma came out, and then they didn't do another one until recently.
That one had a weird reception, too.
The first 2 Lost Planets were amazing, and then they were like, we should ruin this. It's a lot of just the...
I wouldn't say they outright failed, but they definitely did some weird stuff. That was not...
Yeah, they worked on Bionic Commando,
okay, yeah.
So yeah, man, and they kind of lived off of Marvel vs. Capcom. The fact that Resident Evil 5 was kind of cashing on 4, Dead Rising, and some remakes.
Oh yeah, Dead Rising.
They kind of, now not to say they didn't have some good stuff in that range. They did put out Ghost Trick during that time period.
It was a weird time. It was definitely a weird time where they were starting franchises and then killing them within the same console generation. It's okay.
It was, and then they had this weird thing where they were trying to westernize a bunch of games. You look at Resident Evil 5 and you're like, oh, you very much were shooting for modern character action game, weren't you?
Yep.
That was obviously your intent here.
Yep.
And you look at so you look at that, that's what they were going for. You look at Devil May Cry and that reboot thing, whatever the fuck that was.
I love it. I love that game.
Okay, but you love that game, but would you rather have that game or would you have the other Devil May Cry game?
I want both.
If you have to pick.
I don't know. I haven't gotten far enough in Devil May Cry 5.
Okay.
They both accomplish the same thing for me.
Character action games, right?
Yeah.
Not
characters that I don't take seriously. Really cool art style. I'm comboing on enemies. It's got all the stuff I'm coming for.
I did not like New Dante.
A lot of people really hate that game, and I understand to a degree, but
I think that if they would have just been the way that they behaved about the old series.
Oh yeah, no, the outside of the game itself, the way the devs treated it, fuck that. That was
yeah, and there was that joke in the game that I found funny, with the wig, but like a lot of fans were not happy about
No, no one was
I thought
like,
it was insulting, but
oh
it was pretty
right.
funny.
I mean, I thought it was funny, but yeah, like it was totally like no one dislikes the white long hair. Like that was a weird joke. And yes, the way the devs treated it outside, which I was completely unaware of when I was introduced to that game. Like I think that may have colored a lot of people's expectations with that.
Like, I think that the special edition they put out for it was a lot better. In all fairness, but the combat is not as good as the other DMC games. The story definitely isn't as good as the other DMC games.
Dude, it's nonsense. The stories of all that is nonsense.
Nah, man, you play through that DMC3 story and tell me it's not awesome.
It's that's the thing. It's all awesome, but it's all nonsense too. I don't care. I played through DMC3. I enjoyed the hell out of it. That's just like whatever.
No, I did enjoy the art of that reboot series.
Oh,
like
it's
that,
incredible.
the art. I didn't like the music though. I didn't think the music was as good either.
Oh, I was really into the music too.
I think I platinumed that game in a week.
Nice.
Wait, the reboot?
Yeah.
Some easy points.
Really?
I was
Holy
number
shit.
1 on multiple leaderboards for that
Well,
game.
it was so easy. It
Holy
was so
fuck.
much
Really enjoyed
easier than 3 and 4. Like, dude, no, like I totally get that because, like, yeah, you could like Devil May Cry 3, 4, and 5 getting like S ranks and triple S ranks was super fucking hard, and then like you play that game and I was like cruising through it.
Yeah.
Like no issues. So yeah. I don't know, man.
Anyway, everyone's real happy with where Devil May Cry's at now. So.
Well, yeah, because they brought back the old like I remember that E3 because I freaked the fuck out, and then they come out on stage and it's Suno, the director, is like DMC is back, and it was like, oh fuck yes. Like yeah, I know. So all right, but yeah, they've just been on the, and speaking of with this, Devil May Cry 5 is one of their new platinum titles.
Yep.
One of their top 10 best-selling games ever in the history of Capcom. So
yeah, good for them.
Yeah, I'm very glad that game did well, and I know Itsuno's working on Dragon's Dogma 2, but I'm very much looking forward to DMC 6 when he's done.
Sure.
Yeah, like let me pull up their platinum stuff here. Give me 1 second.
Yeah.
Where is it? But yeah, so it's like, man, and then you look at their top 10 best-selling games ever. A lot of them are from this streak.
Yeah.
A lot, like, okay, Monster Hunter World, Monster Hunter Rise, Resident Evil 7, Resident Evil 2 Remake, Monster Hunter World Iceborne, Resi 5, Resi 6, Resi Village, Street Fighter 5, Devil May Cry 5. So literally the only games that are not from this 6-year run in their best-selling games ever are Resident Evil 5 and 6.
Wow. 6 sold a lot.
That's
yeah. Well, people got bamboozled by 6.
Yeah, that game was really bad. I own it because I own it because it came in a triple pack, not because I wanted it.
Wow. All right.
So, yeah, man, just
good on Capcom. Capcom is on a streak, and they're still going. So
yeah, I want other publishers to learn from this. If you put out good games and you don't make the microtransactions too gross, because they still have costumes and DLC shit.
Yeah.
But you don't make them too gross, you make money.
When you put out a costume that is Beautiful Joe for one of your characters, you make money. I just think everyone should just put Beautiful Joe in their games. That's really what I think.
I agree. Capcom, I'm just saying, if you want to bring back Beautiful Joe,
see, now you want to,
Here's your opportunity.
get Beautiful Joe and
Okami.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
Was
Speaking of
Okami
Capcom,
or were they Clover?
Yep.
Like, was it developed by Clover and published by
It was
Capcom?
developed. Yes, that one. It's
Okay,
owned by
okay.
Capcom, published by Capcom, developed by Clover.
Okay.
Yeah, bring Okami back.
Yeah. No,
Oh.
Okami HD is the shit. Game is awesome.
All right.
Yeah. So.
Damn it.
Yeah. So. All right. Well.
We're doing good. Yay, Capcom.
Good on you, Capcom.
Bring
Yay.
that. Show other companies how to do your face technology because goddamn.
Yeah.
It's good. It's really good.
You make people look great.
That Resident Evil engine, dude. It's something else.
It's something else.
Yeah.
Like what they're doing with how all the Street Fighter characters look, how all the Devil May Cry characters look. When I saw their faces, it was this weird, like uncanny valley, but in a good way. When you see Dante in that, like, whoa, it's like he's real. He's not just an anime character.
Well, so the thing about that engine is it's RE engine, also known as Reach for the Moon. It is created by Capcom specifically for Resident Evil 7, and then they've used it for every game since. And one of the big benefits of it is it's very, very scalable.
Ooh.
So you can get stuff running on a lower end system because you look at like. Let's pull in Resident Evil Village, its min system specs, for example. A Ryzen 3 or Intel 7500, a 1050 Ti, and 8 gigs of RAM. But then you can also like just crank it if you want to and make things look incredible. So yeah, like I will say that it does look better in first person.
Yeah.
So that is one thing I can say about it is like it legitimately looks significantly better in first person. I think the best looking games in that engine are RE7 and RE Village.
Why is that?
I don't know. I think it might just have to do with the way it handles certain resources and whatnot, but I can't guarantee that. Like, because I was looking at the RE4 footage and a lot of it looked amazing. But then, like, the rain effects at the church were like, oh, that looks rough.
Huh.
That looks really rough.
That's about.
Yeah. By the way, everyone, if you want to play some wonderful Capcom games, Resident Evil, I think there's a Resident Evil game or two on Game Pass. There's definitely some on PlayStation Plus Premium. And then Monster Hunter Rise also just hit Game Pass. So there you go.
There you go.
Go play go hunt your monsters.
You're going for your subscriptions on both your consoles. Go for it. Now's the time.
Yes.
All right. Yay, Capcom.
So yeah. Good on Capcom being awesome.
Yeah.
Teach people how to run. Next news story.
Next news story.
Is hold on, my docket's all messed up. There's been some controversy about the FF14 World First Race.
Yeah.
There sure has.
And whatnot. Yeah.
Jesse, do you want to explain this?
Yeah, let's Jesse, since you are far more I give perspective from the other side of the fence on this for these. But if can you explain what's going on here?
Yeah, so the world first race, I think it actually like legitimately just ended.
Oh.
But it ended earlier. Ended earlier.
Ended.
Quotation marks, yeah.
Yep.
And the team that had won the world first race for the new Ultimate, which is the hardest content that Final Fantasy has to offer, didn't stream or like log their fights. So like nobody really knew like how they did it or what strategies they were using or anything like that. And other teams were streaming their progress through the raid. And this video leaks of one of the players who was streaming in Discord, I guess, to some friends. Also in quotes, friends.
Yeah, friends.
Yeah. And one of them leaked out the video showing the gameplay, and essentially they were using zoom hacks, so you can zoom the camera further out than is intended. He had a bunch of plugins, which are like add-ons for people that play Warcraft. And this video started circulating, and people started complaining about these cheaters, also in quotes cheaters,
Right.
because in Final Fantasy the community is all about the vanilla experience for some reason. Well, and I kind of get it, but anyway,
I think a lot of that has to do with the dev is all about.
well, and then the dev, yeah, and then the dev comes out and says that the entire time we've had this game out, we've said that we don't approve of third-party tools. You've got to use what's in the game. The content is designed with that in mind, and any third-party tool usage goes against the TOS. So they revoked the achievement, they revoked the kill, and then they made the players delete the weapons that they got out of the raid or the gear that they got out of the raid, which is a very Japanese thing to do. We're going to punish you, but you're going to have to do this step yourself. But they got bullied so bad that they all deleted their characters.
Whoa.
As well.
Oh my god.
That's a little extreme.
Yeah, people were bullying these guys so much that they deleted their characters. And then some other team came in and got like the true, also in quotes, world first.
Yeah,
that about sums it up.
That happened over that period, and yeah.
I don't know how to feel about this because, like, on the one hand, I'm like, I get where they're coming from, like the devs. But on the other hand, like, add-ons have been in World of Warcraft since the beginning. They are active in Guild Wars. They are active in a lot of other MMOs, and you could just design the fights around them. And I realized that it would probably be a pain in the ass to do, but you could enable. And if console crossplay is like the like hurdle here, other games have gotten mods to work on console. Like they totally have. I have seen it in action. So why not?
Well, I think my take on, like, I get it on one hand from the dev perspective too, and I come from WoW, so like I have no problem internally using add-ons. Like it just doesn't bother me, or plugins or whatever. But most of these plugins aren't modifying game files like mods are. It's all separate and above or outside of the game. And like the devs have said, damage meters, for example, like what's the difference from running a damage meter or having somebody with a calculator who's just sitting there adding up all the numbers to give you your DPS or whatever? And he says, so to him, damage meters aren't like a huge deal, but he still prefers that they not be used in game. And if you do use them, not to talk about them. That's kind of been their stance the whole time. Like don't talk about third party software that you're using in any of this stuff. And they've implemented a lot of things that people have used mods for in the past, like numbers on your abilities that show the cooldown, a timer that shows your cooldown on the ability. That didn't used to exist. It used to just be a rotating circle.
I mean, yeah, like Blizz has done the same thing. Like the new WoW UI, like just like fucking just made me get rid of almost every UI add-on I had.
Right.
But like I get where they're coming from to an extent, but it's just like, dude, your most top end players who care about this anyway are probably on PC. Like
there's actually a pretty even split between console and PC players at the top end.
Really? Like even for like the super mega sweaties? Huh.
Yeah, even for these world first racers, yeah. It's pretty even.
That's actually
which
really
is wild to me because I've tried playing on controller, I can't do it.
I can see it happen.
No, I fucking fuck that noise.
I know someone who plays Ultimates on controller. Thanks.
Yeah, I think the best Dragoon in the world plays on a controller.
Good for those people, man.
That trigger system, man.
Yeah, I can't do it, but good for him.
Yeah, like I have an MMO mouse for a reason. that's my take on that.
Sure.
I will say it does make I can see a controller making like stuff like interrupts easier, because like I map my interrupts to where my thumb rests in WoW.
Sure.
Like so I get that aspect at least.
Well, yeah, and in WoW,
Um,
sometimes you have to be like super quick on those interrupts. Like the cast bar is a second, or like 3/4 of a second, or something. So you really have to be looking for it when you're going to interrupt.
yeah, you got to be Johnny on the spot.
Yeah.
So I get it. Like, yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah, because like I get that implementing this for console in particular would like be hard, especially consider. But like, I've been saying this since Final Fantasy became the kind of the king MMO for a little bit there, and is still in the running for it. Though a lot of my communities have literally people I know are split 50-50 these days, it seems, between it and WoW.
right.
Ever since WoW had its comeback. And it's what the hell?
No.
Hmm?
Sorry, I was getting a Discord call from someone.
Oh God.
I was like, what the fuck is happening? um so yeah, it's I just wonder, like, because their argument against DPS meters that I've heard at least is like, well, we don't want people to feel bad, etc., etc. We can clear the content, you can
Yeah.
clear the content.
Yeah.
But I'm like, okay, but like on the other hand, it's like I can still tell when someone's damage is bad, and like, shouldn't I have the tools to be able to analyze my damage better? And then like, I get that they don't want it to kind of, because this happened with the Warcraft community in a big way, is like a lot of the Warcraft community is like so so numbers focused.
Mhm.
Uh,
But like
I had a
oh.
friend this week who was trying to run a 15 key, and they pugged it. He and a friend of ours pugged it together, and they got in there, started the thing, and then the two pugs were like, "Wait, you have I think it was a 325 trinket,"
Yeah,
and they're like, "No, we're not doing this." So they depleted his key and left the dungeon. I'm like, "What?"
that's super shitty and absurd that they did that.
Yeah.
Like yeah, like that's shit. And you definitely run into that, like,
Yep.
especially Final Fantasy. Though I see why, because like Final Fantasy has this weird jump in content. Like getting up to a 15 in WoW is like a gradual curve, right? Like, oh, you do a 0, you do a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 7, etc. And like it gets progressively harder. Versus like in Final Fantasy, going from like 0 or going from normal to extreme feels like I went from like it literally feels like going from LFR to heroic rating.
Yeah.
Well, like that's what it feels like. It feels like
And
I'm doing
that's not even like the hardest content either. So like savages
no.
and ultimates from there is just like Jesus.
Yeah, and like I feel like they could do the curve a little better, but I personally would be in favor of it. I think that mods inherently, mods in quotes, add-ons, whatever you want to call them, they do make the game better. They make it more fun. I do think that the developers will have to like really, especially because of the way Final Fantasy functions, they would have to monitor it super hardcore.
Yeah.
Just because of the fact that like I definitely see where you don't want to get to where WoW is, where like every single guild I'm in now requires certain add-ons. Like every
Mhm.
single one. Like my guild requires RC Loot Council, it requires DBM or bigwigs, and it requires and if you're bad enough, if you are bad and they are trying to get you to improve, they will make you install GTFO. So I definitely and I could see them not wanting to do that, but I don't know. At this point, I think it's going to be a lost cause also, and eventually they're going to have to suck it up anyway, or just start banning people, be like super on it about it.
Yeah, they said in the past that they don't want to implement an anti-cheat system, but if it gets too bad, they will.
Which it is going to get too bad because once the Pandora's box for a lot of the MMO community is opened, I find people don't go back.
Yep.
Like that. That's it's a big part of why Destiny's anti-cheat system is fucking insane. So
there's an interesting quote here from Yoshi P. It says the Ultimate Raid series is the most difficult battle content within Final Fantasy XIV. We released this content after testing it that it can be cleared without the use of any third-party tools. However, if the presumption is that this content will be tackled and cleared with the use of third-party tools, then any reason to develop high difficulty battle content seems to be lost.
Yes.
No, it's you do what the Mythic Warcraft team does and just assume they're going to have weak auras or DBM. Like that's it. This is a solved problem. I forget the name of the Guild Wars one, but the Guild Wars has a similar thing. Like you're just like, hey, okay, our player base is gonna have DBM, so we have to. And I used to be against add-ons for the longest time. Because they were popular in WoW as early as the first year. Like I remember, like guilds making you install threat meters, and then I literally installed the bare minimum of whatever my guild may be, and I refused to use DBM because I'm like, no, I can figure out mechanics by myself. But then there was a mechanic on the Lich King that literally it made my life so difficult. I just caved and finally installed DBM. And then now like every heroic and mythic fight in WoW is now designed around the fact that they know that you're going to have DBM and all the other add-ons.
So I don't play this super hard content, so this doesn't affect me in any way, and leaves me like short on knowledge on this stuff. But like, let's say they design something with the knowledge that you have all these add-ons. What if you release it and then people make new add-ons to make that stuff easier?
That's the race. That's the arms race.
That's what like
So you
weak
just do that
auras
all
is a
the
big
time.
thing. Yeah, like like it is. It is just assumed that you're gonna have like. Now, granted, WoW's equivalent to this would be what mythics. Would you say mythic raiding, not mythic dungeons, is equivalent to an ultimate?
Probably.
Okay, so yeah, like let's say you're doing mythic raiding, like you totally have like weak auras that go as far as like figuring out certain mechanics, like absolutely
telling you like where to stand and what abilities to use.
Yeah. Now, granted, there's you still need to execute that, and it becomes less of a knowledge thing and more of an execution thing.
Which,
But
based on our time with Storm's Crown, I feel like a lot of Final Fantasy's philosophy is set around memorizing rather than
executing.
Which
and
executing is more
I
like
think
a World of Warcraft thing. So
yeah, and a Guild Wars thing, and very much a Lost Ark thing. I played a lot of Lost Ark last weekend, and Stella and I got into the new tier of raiding, and we tried it, and we were like, fuck, dude, if you miss one counter, you are just fucked.
right.
So yeah, and I guess that's true, but then I guess you could move the game to being less memorization focused.
That's the thing,
And
though,
then
is that then you would have to like redesign over time.
Well, right, you would have to make the game more of an action focus and
all that high game content. Which at that point, you might as well work on a new not fucked engine. You might as well just make a new MMO.
It's almost like they should do that. But
they're too deep in it now, I think.
Yeah, because the one thing that I realize when you bring that up is because if you make it more reaction based, you could flesh out toolkits more for different, and you could differentiate classes more and give them a bunch of weird fun stuff to fuck around with.
Yeah, they're going back right now. They're going back to this homogenization of classes, which WoW had its moment with that, and learned that was wrong.
It was a bad idea. Guild Wars went through that.
Right. Guild Wars went through it too, and I think Square's going to learn that Yoshi P is going to learn that it's not a great idea. But in like on the topic of add-ons and stuff, Blizzard has banned the use of certain add-ons before.
Yeah, totally. But like it's certain ones. It's not like all of them.
I think like decursive they banned, right, and then hired the guy that made decursive to work on raid mechanics.
Yeah, and then they had Healbot banned, but then the dev tweaked it so it wouldn't ruin content. So yeah, like it, so once again, you can also design around these in a way that, like, okay, fine, we'll allow third-party add-ons for like camera angle stuff, because like one of the big add-ons is you could zoom out the camera more. Like that was and I actually think that's a great idea, because I remember when I was playing with when I was playing 14 with Stella a lot, she was very pissed off that you couldn't zoom out the camera far enough to see everything in mechanics.
Yeah.
And that is something that I actually frequently run into, because and that's because I play these games almost all the way zoomed out. Like, I remember David first saw my World of Warcraft footage back when I was streaming WoW a lot, and he's just like, it's just like, this man is clicking and zoomed out all the way. This man never left Warcraft 3 in 2002.
Yeah.
He's still there. So, yeah, like it's one of those things where I think you could design around it and then just say certain add-ons are banned or not. Like, I think you could easily let people have the camera add-on, but like if you don't want them, like, like I said, our experience in Storm's Crown, like if you don't want ones telling you where to stand, then don't allow those ones. Like, let people have their UI add-ons, but don't let them have like you can easily make it a case by case basis if you really wanted to support the community with that. So I don't.
It's been a weird balance of like letting people use, because that's the secret, is they're letting people use these third-party tools, but they're saying don't talk about it. But then the other rule is, hey, if you're going for a world first, either don't use it or don't post
don't
it.
use these. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, if we keep saying this, we're not going to make any more. Like,
I mean, that seems like throwing the baby out with the bathwater.
It is.
Yeah,
it is.
That's also very Japanese.
Well, yes, because like all the other MMOs I play are American or Korean, so this is very much a thing that's kind of unique to this game. Like, for me at least, like, because and granted, I haven't played 14 since, when did Point 2 come out? That was the one with the Troya, right? That was Point 2. Was that 1.5?
Yeah, no, 2.
I don't know.
Okay, so yeah, that was the last patch that I played and put serious time into. I'm kind of on a break. I've had a little bit of an itch to come back, but like not like Warcraft's been so good right now that I'm not as much inclined.
Sure.
So like, and so yeah, like it's and I guess they could, and I feel like they could also work with add-on developers more and be like, look, we're gonna open up the game more and we're gonna allow this, but just know that, hey, these are not allowed, these are. But
yeah, I don't know. They've got a real conundrum they need to sort out. Like, I know someone who is totally on the dev side of this. Like, this is how this is designed for, and that's what you're going to enjoy the game for. You're going to, and they were just so like not happy with the general community response that they just have ended their subscription to Final Fantasy 14. They just don't want to deal with it anymore.
I mean, fair enough. Can someone explain this to me about the 14 community and like that kind of stuff, where they're like, when it like they seem real, I don't want to say defensive, but I guess like protective of the game and the developer's intent, like more so than
I think the
any
community
other.
as a whole is like really split.
Well, they're on this. They're split on it. Like, this specific issue. It to me, like, the one that the being in defense of devs strikes me as a very much like I don't know, a Souls fan thing of like, this is what the developers intend. Stop trying to change it.
Yeah, so you're saying like it's the same argument as like an easy mode in Dark Souls.
To me.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, okay. That's actually a really a really good analogy. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, absolutely.
And like when you look
Well,
at it
and,
that
like,
way, you kind of understand. But
Yeah. Well, and like, so if you're talking about like the community being split on this, I want you to go to the Balmung server. I want you to go to the Waking Sands in Ulda, and I will guarantee you that nobody in that room is using the vanilla experience. It is the equivalent of the inn on Moonguard in Goldshire for WoW. And I guarantee you no one in that room is not using a mod for nudity.
yeah,
Guarantee it.
yeah.
Fuck. All right. Well, that's fascinating. Like it's so weird the different cultures from different MMOs.
Yeah.
Like because like primarily being a Warcraft player, and I have a cap character in 14 who was really geared as of the last patch, and I got to try some endgame content, and I tried to pug some Savage, and generally had a fun time with it, but like it's like coming off a game where it's just like you are expected to have mods installed.
Yeah.
Like literally, like if like when we started up our new raid like 2 weeks ago, like we we were like, oh, you should, like, what, you don't have DBM installed, why?
Right.
What the fuck?
And that
Fuck is
difference
this
can be
nonsense?
nice. Like just
Yeah, no, absolutely. And to be fair, I like the intensity of that in the raiding community in particular in WoW and in Guild Wars can be really off-putting.
sure.
Like I totally get how you could be very off-put by that. Like and like I was talking with Stella about it. She's like, oh yeah, dude, it was super intimidating to get into Guild Wars raiding.
Oof.
I think it was super intimidating because like everybody knew the content and they expected you to know the content and have certain God, I forgot what they call them in Guild Wars. I'm just gonna call them add-ons installed. Like that's what that is what they expect.
Right.
Yep.
Just like in WoW, like they are going to expect you to have DBM. Fact.
Yeah.
Straight facts. You like Aaron, like if you were to start up WoW today and you're like, I want to raid, I am capped, Bronson, I'm joining your raid team. Awesome. They're gonna the first thing they're gonna be like is like, all right, install RC Loot Council and install DBM and anything else that you personally would want or need.
Which, the fact that the devs are all right with it, I'm like, yeah, sure, all right.
Yeah, like and that's I feel that is a big a big part of that difference, to be fair. I'm curious if there's
nothing.
I'm curious if there's any Final Fantasy raid teams that are like, no, you must install this add-on.
There has to be.
I'm curious.
My group has almost done it because we have 4 people who are real bad about like standing and stuff, or like not anticipating. Like we even have somebody doing call outs and they just like don't anticipate it. And like Cactbot, I guess, will it's got cast timers for the boss. It's got things that pop up that tell you like if you should get behind the boss or in front of the boss, like positioning essentially.
Wow, DBM doesn't even do that shit.
We've thought about it and been like, we don't want to like force anybody to do stuff that's against the TOS, but it would really help.
It's yeah. Like I can see how that would be a really awkward conversation to have, because like I remember our group when we were doing 14 rating, like only one person had mods installed and it was a DPS meter, because we were like, okay, we need to see how we're doing on average. We need to check parses.
Yeah.
So like, and that was so who like I feel, and this is something they've kind of done. It's like, all right, fine, you don't want add-ons, then put a DPS meter in the game.
Yeah.
Well, they don't want to do that because people will be toxic about it.
Well,
but they're already toxic about it.
They're already toxic about like, wait, you're playing as this job? Yeah, no.
Yeah, that's true.
Like that's already happening still.
Yeah, it's like people still shit on you if you play Mechanist.
I think
like they're now the top tier
Oh,
DPS class.
who's the class that's getting shit on now?
Probably Dancer.
Okay, so you're playing Dancer, get fucked. And that's just because people want to clear content in the easiest way possible, so they're always gonna want to. We encounter that in WoW. Like, if I am not with Anthony, people will not take him because Afflick Warlock sucks in Mythics. Well, sucks in Mythics. It's just a lot harder to be good.
Never mind that you're not playing at the level where it matters, right? Like,
right, because they just want the easiest way to clear the plus 15 or whatever the fuck we're doing that week. It's and that's actually one thing I really like about my raid team. They could give a fuck about your spec, your class, whatever, as long as you're meeting par for DPS for the clear. We don't give a shit.
That's the thing. Yeah. So if they want to make it reportable, if you can get a screenshot of hey, they kicked me out because of my job selection, regardless of whether I'm good at it or not, then you got something.
Yeah, exactly. Like, if you want to be, if you want to just be make that reportable of they kicked me out because my damage was supposedly shit, but according
to this DPS meter.
Yeah, you could have that go the other way. It's just and say, and then if they really wanted to, they could say, okay, par DPS for this level of content is this.
Yeah.
So we believe the average player should be able to hit 20k or whatever the current good number for Final Fantasy DPS is.
Yeah.
There you go. That solves that problem.
Yep.
Because they already have item level requirements, so they're already gear checking you automatically.
Yep.
They're already gear checking you, and even when I was pugging in 14, people were looking for well above the minimum minor level for gearing. It's just people want the path of least resistance to clear the content, and that they're gonna abuse DPS meters, but they're also abusing classes already. And I guarantee you that it wouldn't make it that much worse, if worse at all.
Right.
So, if anything, as a non-meta class, you could post your logs and show no, I'm a good dancer. It would probably be beneficial.
Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, that is the conundrum, I guess.
I don't know. That's something that they're gonna have to figure out because
well, especially as the game gets more popular and you have carryover from Guild Wars people or WoW people or LA people, right? That's gonna happen. Especially I wondered. I knew something like this would happen eventually with all the WoW people coming over.
Yeah.
I knew it was gonna happen because I was just okay, but you're talking to people who have been used to having mods for anywhere from 5 to 18 years. They are going to want to use mods,
right?
So I don't know. We'll see. I am pro mod, even though I only use a small handful. I try and get away with using as little as possible, but I think you should be able to use those tools.
Sure.
At least to an extent, because like I said, man, that Final Fantasy camera app plugin is real nice.
Sure.
Let me tell you, it makes playing Black Mage a lot easier.
Yeah.
So, all right, what do we got next?
All right, final big news story. EA, you motherfuckers.
Yep. Sounds about right.
They canceled a single player game. Codenames Titanfall Legends. It was reportedly being planned as a single player experience for Apex Legends. Sounds like it would have brought Titanfall and Apex together.
In a more direct way other than characters in the world, but yes.
Yep. It was being developed by Respawn. It was being led by creative director Mohammed Alavi. Until he left the company in January 2022. Dude.
This is hurting me.
Dude.
this is shattering.
Reading this hurts me. It's so sad. But
it was claimed that Respawn's game was a first-person shooter built around mobility and style. But nope.
Those rat bastards.
Instead, we need more Star Wars. Yay. You know. And I'm sure that's and I want to say I loved Fallen Order, and I'm sure this Survivor will be great. But if you would ask me like, hey, what do you want more? A new Titanfall or a sequel to Jedi Fallen Order, I'd be like,
Titanfall?
New Titanfall.
Yep.
You know, Titanfall 2 is one of the best goddamn games I've ever played, and this is just depressing.
But here's the question: which of these two do you think would have made more money?
Survivor
Star Wars.
or Star Wars easily. How many? Can someone look up how many copies Jedi Fallen Order has sold so far?
I got it.
You?
Because like that game has to be doing gangbusters.
It has to, right?
Yeah, like it's Star Wars. It's incredibly good, especially since they patched it. It got a next gen patch for free. Like, that game has to be wrecking shop, I imagine.
Yeah.
So I have your answer.
Okay.
Yeah.
By 2020, it sold more than 10 million copies.
Yeah. Okay. It's doing real well
in 2020. Yeah. Okay.
By 2020.
Yeah, and you can get it now for like $20, so it's sold like crazy.
Game Pass numbers probably don't.
Yeah. So no.
By June of 21, it surpassed 20 million players.
So assume like 15-ish million copies, probably. All right.
More or less.
Cool.
And now that it's on PlayStation Plus until Tuesday.
Oh yeah.
Because it was January's PlayStation Essential Game of the Month.
Yeah, I picked that up. So cool.
So you can add another several million to that.
Mm-hmm.
I have done my part. This is another game that I've purchased more than once.
We need to get a meme. We need to get you in a Starship Troopers outfit, saying "I'm doing my part." Yeah.
We need to get a soundboard, and I'll just play that each time.
Shit.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah. So that's the thing. It's Star Wars, and it's a good Star Wars.
And it was a lot of fun. Like I played it when it was fucked still. Like I played the PC launch version and I loved it.
Oh wow.
So yeah, like
that was also during that time of people releasing AAA games that were just broken.
Yeah. You mean now? Still.
Yes, but it was during that peak.
Okay.
Around the time of Cyberpunk and those games. But yeah, like Apex Legends is great, but that's like a free to play game?
It's a free to play battle pass microtransaction, so it's making money fucking hand over foot.
But who knows if they're going to carry over to this new single player Titanfall experience?
Right, exactly. Like it plays significantly differently because the giant robots and the wall running. Like I get where they're coming from.
Yeah.
With that, but on the other side of it, it's like, come on.
One of the best shooter experiences.
People are begging for this, and then like to be fair, part of the reason why Titanfall 2 didn't do so well is your own damn fault because you put it out. One, you had to compete with your own game because Battlefield 1 came out like within a week of it, and then you had it come out the same fucking week as Call of Duty. So
good job.
I think they shot themselves on the foot for that.
Yeah, like I get that you have your own game stuff that you're you're confident in it, but like, dude, come on, like you have a game that looks like Call of Duty, acts like Call of Duty in a lot of ways, especially because that year was a sci-fi Call of Duty. Like,
yep.
I'm sorry, but that's not going to get the general interest going in the same way that you think it will. So, dumb. Very, very dumb. It's this goes back to something that like I found interesting the more I get in like to corporate tech culture, is they just look at numbers. They don't look at the reason why for the numbers.
Nope.
This is something that I have realized the more that I like get deeper into the belly of the beast. And it's like, okay, they're very interested in numbers, but they are never interested in why the numbers happen that way. And it drives me fucking insane. Like, oh, Titanfall 2 underperformed by our standards, so we're going to kill it. Not, why did Titanfall 2 underperform to our standards? Yeah. So, yeah, that's
so frustrating.
Extremely.
There's a really cool game there, a Titanfall 3 with a full-on single-player and multiplayer.
Yes,
just put all your money and time behind it. Like you want a big release. Titanfall is a good release.
Yes, Titanfall could easily be the next Call of Duty. Easily,
especially when you combine it with like some of the well-known Apex Legends characters and locations and stuff.
And yeah, you market it as like set in the same. You kind of do the reverse thing of like you market it as like, oh, like Apex is a spinoff of Apex, not Apex was a spinoff of this.
Right. Titanfall fans will be fine with that.
Yes, as long as we get more, motherfuckers.
That's all it is. You can make it Apex Titanfall. Sure.
Yeah. You make it, easily. You easily could be like, Apex Titanfall. Well, like that would be perfect, Aaron. Like that would literally just get the point across.
Yep.
It would get like Apex people might get interested. You throw a battle royale mode in it, but you're like, hey, this one has giant robots.
Yes.
So yeah, like fuck yes, absolutely fuck yes. But yep. You know how corporate is. That's all I'm gonna say. It'll never happen.
Numbers go up.
Number go up. What will make number go up? Doing Battlefield, but not fucking it up as bad this time.
Yep.
Like that's how they think, and it's unfortunate because, and credit to Respawn. I don't know if it's their leadership. I don't know if it's their games make a lot of money. I don't know what it is, but they are far more willing. Like they seem to avoid the evil death grasp of every other studio that goes to EA. Like I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's their credit as being the Call of Duty guys originally. I don't know if they left EA once and are very willing to tell them to go fuck themselves. I don't know what it is, but credit to them for it.
Right.
So yeah. All right. I think we got another news story.
Well, those are our big news stories.
All right, let's hit rapid fire.
It's rapid fire. We're doing something different. It's a little slapped together this time around because this morning has been quite something. But we're doing what we're calling lightning rounds, which is we have a bunch of news stories. We picked the big ones that we're concentrating on, and then the rest of these we're just gonna go through. And my goal is to have music and a timer and make it more fun. We just don't have that stuff right now, so we're just gonna go quickly through these quick impressions on the rest of these stories. All right.
Excuse me.
So here we go. All right, first one. Platinum Games is holding a Metal Gear Rising 10th anniversary celebration later this month. Thoughts?
I think that it depends on what they do with it. If they're going to say we're getting Metal Gear Rising 2, awesome. If it's literally just, hey, this is the 10th anniversary of Metal Gear Rising, and we also and we're also putting it out on the current systems, have fun.
Remember how awesome Metal Gear Rising was? Remember all the memes that you guys made? Isn't that neat? All right, bye.
I'd play it again.
Yeah, play it again.
You'd what?
I'd play it again.
Yeah. Oh yeah, same. Absolutely.
Give me 4K textures. I'm there.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, put that shit in 4K. Give me a 120 mode. Like that's all I want.
Yeah, sure.
Not a big ask for me.
All right, PlayStation Plus collection can't be claimed after May 9th.
That's real big bummer. I think
and it's only for PS5 owners, isn't it?
Yeah. So PS Plus collection is already only a PS5 thing. So if you don't have one,
yeah, you gotta have a PS5. You gotta get all this all these video games here.
Who has a PS5 and log on to your account on there, and then claim all the games. Because this. Sorry, go ahead.
There's a bunch of games here. You got Battlefield 1, you got Bloodborne, you got Arkham Knight, Black Ops 3, you got Fallout 4, Final Fantasy 15 Royal Edition, the 2018 God of War, Second Son, Mortal Kombat X, Monster Hunter World, Last Guardian, Resident Evil 7, Last of Us Remastered, Uncharted 4, a couple other games in there.
Like kind of a lot of the must play stuff from then, So
some of those games I actually own a physical copy, so I'm fine.
Yeah, exactly. So if you don't get it,
I own a lot of them myself. But yeah, like
May 9th.
May 9th. All right, boys. That means if you have a PS4 and you want those, go talk to someone with a PS5. Let you log on to your account and claim them all.
There you go.
That's,
All right. Next news story.
Mm-hmm.
Rumbleverse is shutting down. What the fuck?
6 months.
6 months.
6 months.
Man.
From the Iron Galaxy folks.
This game was really cool. I think this game was an interesting idea, but I played it like twice and was just like, yeah, okay, this maybe is not the best execution of this.
Yeah, a lot of people
concept on paper, execution not so much.
Yeah.
People came out on Twitter saying how much they played it. It was new to me, but it was a cool idea.
Like I know Max from Maximilian Dude, he loved it. Like he played that shit to death. But I definitely get why it's being shut down. I'm sorry to say.
Sure. Online services end February 28th. So keep that in mind if you're playing that game. All right.
Yep.
Next news story. Hogwarts Legacy community reinstates 3-year-old ban on discussing J.K. Rowling. Hey, that's still going on.
All right. Okay.
All right. Cool. Neat.
Yeah.
Jesus fucking
When does that game come out?
Tuesday
this
for
week.
access, Friday if you didn't pre-order.
Yeah, this week. And I saw. I was thinking about picking up, but then I saw some footage hit Twitter this week, and it kind of looks like trash.
The wand fighting specifically does not look good.
Yeah, did you see that thing Pat posted?
Oh, I don't know about Pat specifically, but I saw some wand fighting gameplay.
Did you see the wand fight with the troll? Yep, that's what. Yeah, that looked like fucking hot garbage.
Didn't look great. Also, even in my best of moods regarding the Harry Potter franchise, not what I'm coming to Harry Potter for.
No, I mean no, but to be fair, like a lot of the other stuff in the game looks just fine.
Yeah.
Like, do I want to, like, would I rather like just play the game and like it be an awesome Harry Potter experience? Yeah, but it has all this other stuff linked to it, and it's by a developer who's kind of only made mediocre shit.
Right, that's right. I was looking at that recently.
Yeah, like the best thing they ever made was like Disney Infinity, which is a decent enough game, I guess, but
we'll see.
not
right?
Really, what you're looking for,
Yeah, it's about to come out, so we'll see. But hey, that's still ongoing. The conversation around the game. So, yep.
So, all right, well, cool.
All right, next story.
Next story.
Hey, Star Wars Jedi Survivor now arrives April 28th. Got pushed.
Good. I give that team all the time they need to make gold, and then also the fact that it gives me more time to be able to afford it and play it.
Why would you not push it one more week? Then the very next week is May 4th.
Exactly.
Why would you not do that?
May 4th. Come on.
Put it out on May 4th. May the 4th be with you. There you go.
What are you doing? But hey, whatever. All right, give him time. All right, next story. Last of Us Episode 3 review bomb despite widespread acclaim. I wonder why.
Fuck those assholes, okay? Fuck them right up the ass for doing this. That episode was fantastic, and they're all
bigots, dumb bigots.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. So
they're real passive aggressive about it too.
Yeah, so very beta. So
and there were claims on Twitter that there was no mention of Bill being gay.
No, there are very much.
Very much. Like the drive with Joel and Ellie in the back seat, and she's finding all of these magazines. If that's not a clear fucking sign, fuck all of you.
There's a literal letter you find from Bill or from Frank to Bill about like them being in a relationship, and now he hates Bill's guts.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like there's and you can hand it to him, and then Bill's like, "Well, fuck you too, then, Frank." You know, like yeah, and this was a beautiful love story. This episode was fantastic. It kind of stands on its own, in all honesty. Like you can watch this and have it be a great story.
Yeah, you really don't even need any zombies or the setting of The Last of Us. It can just be a post-apocalyptic love story, and I think it would have been fine.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Also, did not realize Nick Offerman was in this. So
yeah, he's Bill.
Okay,
and he plays a great Bill.
Yeah, Bill.
Yeah, my one complaint is that like for Bill, his character is like this like gun nut doomsday prepper, and there's a scene where he's just standing out in the open taking pot shots at people that are at his fence instead of like hiding behind cover, and I'm like, what are you doing? Yeah. If anybody here should know that you should have cover, it's you.
Like,
yeah.
For fuck's sake.
Funny.
Yeah, it's. Otherwise, it was a great episode.
All right.
Yeah. So, sorry. Go ahead.
So whatever. That show seems to be doing well. Just weirdos lashing out where they can.
Yep. You know, shitty people being shitty. Shocking.
Yep. All right.
Much.
Final news story. Hey, the SEC demands Activision Blizzard pay $35 million for failing to maintain disclosure controls related to complaints of workplace misconduct and violating whistleblower protection rule.
Sucks to fucking suck, boys.
Yeah.
What a fine.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, it just adds on to that story of like, wow, you guys really sucked for the way you handled all this, but also Microsoft just paid you like $67 billion and the government's like $35 million. Okay.
This goes back to the way, this goes back to like, there are speeding tickets in the UK, and the way they handle them, instead of a set fine, they do it based on your income. So if you're like super broke, the fine won't be that bad. If you're super, super rich, you're going to pay a far bigger fine. I feel that's how they should handle these. Like shit like this.
But if they did that, it would be all the more apparent that they have all your information and you don't have to do all the tax work that they make you do.
Yes, absolutely. And, granted, they have, and like, unless you're in a situation like your 1099 have a bunch of, expenses write-offs, like, yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
Fucking dumb.
Yeah, this whole thing. Yep.
So,
and that is the end of our very first lightning round. So
bing, bing.
we're gonna have some fun. I want to try and get some music in and like a timer to really put some pressure on us. Kind of like the end of Pardon the Interruption.
Oh,
the idea. So,
TGI.
Yeah, so we'll get into that later on as we refine this. We're making a slow transition to the next era of Super Gamecraft, so please be patient.
That's right.
And we might drop the 2 off the title of this show.
We are definitely dropping off the 2. It's just when do we feel like we've changed enough about the show and what we do on the channel that we feel like it's time.
Yeah, it's a reboot.
It's kind of we're doing a soft reboot.
Yeah, it's like what they call Tomb Raider, just Tomb Raider.
and again, when you think about it, we called the first podcast the Gamecast, and we called this Super Gamecast 2. There was no Super Gamecast 1. So really, it's a prequel, but set in the future.
Yeah, there you go.
That's right. Yeah.
Don't think about it too much.
Yep.
It's that line from Mystery Science Theater the Mystery Science Theater theme song of just keep repeating yourself. It's just a show. I should really just relax. We'll just put that. We'll put that in our theme song.
Oh yes, yes, please.
All right. Well, real quick, we had a decent show, but let's just talk real quick about what we've been playing. What have we been up to?
Hey, Jesse, how goes that Final Fantasy 14?
That's pretty much all I really had the time to play this week. So I hit two milestones in the game. One, I hit 35 million gil.
Yeah, there we go.
Shit.
All out.
I am still a long ways away from buying a large house. I almost upgraded to a medium house during this latest lottery. I was like, no, I need to save the money and hit that 50 mil for a large house.
Yeah.
And the other thing is I finished the Blue Mage questline.
Nice.
I
Which
saw that.
was not fun. It was really cool though. Like you're fighting enemies, like big enemies, from other Final Fantasy games. So you fight like Siegfried, who I think is from Final Fantasy 3, and then you fight Gogo from Final Fantasy 5, I think. 4. I don't know. He's the mimic character. Maybe he's in 6. But you fight these bosses or enemies from other characters from other Final Fantasy games, and you have to use your Blue Mage spells to not only anticipate what they're going to do or watch a guide that tells you have to get these spells to pass this fight, and then continue to not fuck it up because you can get one shot pretty easily in them. They were interesting, but I would never do that again.
Fair enough. Damn.
Fair enough. All right.
So Gogo is actually Final Fantasy 6, and so is Siegfried.
Oh, got it.
Oh,
all right,
okay.
Nice.
So you fight enemies from Final Fantasy 6, and it was good. It was entertaining.
Okay. All right.
Fair enough. All right, cool. All right, so that's Final Fantasy 14. Might as well get that MMO stuff out of the way.
Yeah.
I did World of Warcraft this week. I did. I finally started raiding. I found a raid team.
There you go.
We went 5 of 8 on normal in our first week.
All right.
So very good first week. Especially because we're not using consumes or anything. We are literally just going in raw dogging it.
All right.
Yeah. So, by the way, this is a call out. Hey guys, we need more healers that are consistent and around.
I'm just getting at everyone's in our Discord, and I look over, and it's like, anyone got any healers? Like, God damn it!
Yeah,
more healers. More healers.
More healers.
Please.
Yeah.
I need healing.
Yes, I need healing. Exactly. I do need healing. Please.
Yeah.
So if you all are out there and want to be healers for me, it'd be much appreciated.
Yeah.
In a big way. So that's kind of been what. And then I'm slowly chipping away at Keystone Master. I'm almost to Keystone. What's the one before Master? I forget the title of it, but I'm almost to the 1500 title. If I get a good Court of Stars run done before Tuesday, I should be there probably. And that's been WoW. It's and then I've been leveling my mage with Sella, and been super fun. I've been having a great time. Like that I miss playing mage sometimes. And watching her learn the game and have fun and then be frustrated because it's different than Guild Wars has been, and I feel like when you move MMOs, you're always gonna have that culture shock.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
So yeah. Then I played more Teppen.
Yep.
That game is still awesome. You should all play Teppen if you have a phone. Do you not have phones?
Yep.
So, anyway, so I've been chipping away at ranking up in Teppen. I've been having a great time doing that. And then, God, I put some time into one other thing. Hold on, I'm gonna pull up my little tracker thing we have here. Or my Discord will freak out. That's another option.
That's another thing you could do. That sounds
fun.
fun.
Yes. I picked up my Persona 5 Royal playthrough.
Oh,
Nice.
okay.
I kind of had the itch to and I am halfway there to the platinum. So I will probably finish my playthrough of that sometime this year and have the platinum.
Cool.
And that'll be
Hell
awesome. Fuck yeah. No, that's a great ass game, and it holds up really fucking well. Like, it really does. Like, I cannot tell you, like, I know it's like 3 years old, but like, man, that game looks great. Even the PS4 version, like the combat's super good. The social link's all great. Like, story's awesome. Music's awesome. Like, literally, just I will occasionally just sit there and just jam out to the menu music.
Nice.
It's super good. So yeah, that's pretty much what I've been playing. What about you, Emily?
I've just been on that Horizon grind.
Horizon.
A little bit more exploring, a little more story and all that fun stuff.
Nice.
Still liking it? Still
yeah.
doing it?
Still enjoying it.
Right on. Okay. Cool.
It's really pretty.
Yeah.
It is a really good looking game. It was very technically impressive at the time, and even still holds up. I just my big issues all comes down to the way it plays, and really nothing else with it. Like, it's other than that, it is a very, and that the story, especially the twist towards the end about you find out how the apocalypse happened. You're like, oh, that's fucking awesome. So
now I'm excited to finish this game and get to that end. Fuck.
Yeah. So, yeah, all right. And Aaron, from what I'm seeing here, it's nothing, nada.
Nothing.
Zero?
I've been messing around with this fight stick. The moment I get it finished and working completely, I'm going to be playing some fighting games. But until then, I'm trying to hold off.
What fighting games are you gonna be playing?
No idea.
No idea. All right.
I messed around in Guilty Gear Strive. I've been enjoying every character I've messed around with. There's Street Fighter 5. I've been messing around with Street Fighter 3. I've actually been playing with and enjoying that.
Good music, quality music and art for that one. I will say. Big
Good
fan.
to listen and look at for sure. I have fighters downloaded, but like I don't know. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait on that. I really am concentrating on just like doing something Street Fighter because I'm kind of prepping for Street Fighter 6 basically.
Yeah, I keep debating if I want to come back to 5 for the last couple months to mess around and do stuff until 6 is out. Like, it's.
I was honestly thinking 5 because I think it'd be a good, eventually I'll get online and that has a ranking system and like that seems like the way to go forward. It just as soon as I feel somewhat decent at a character, jump online and just work the ranks, whether I go up or down or whatever. Like that's what playing fighting games is.
Yeah, and I'm not very good at that game. The furthest I've ever gotten is Lord. I think the furthest I've ever gotten is like mid silvers.
Wow.
Like, that's it. So like I wasn't like I said, I wasn't good at 5. I did not take to 5. They ruined Zangief.
Sure.
And then Ryu was okay. Like, that's the best way I can describe it. He's fine.
Yeah.
Ryu's fine.
Yep.
So
been enjoying Rashid, been enjoying Cammy. I'm gonna try some other characters. I still have not come close to touching everyone.
Rashid in that game is really cool. I know a lot of people really like Rashid.
Yeah.
So our whole channel focus has gotten me kind of back on Guilty Gear a little bit.
Sure.
And I finally found a Guilty Gear main.
Yep.
So, Jesse, you've seen me play fighting games a lot because I used to play them every Friday. Can you guess my Guilty Gear main?
I was gonna ask you who it was, but I would guess. I'm leaning towards Sol or Kai.
No.
I know you didn't pick Leo.
No, I did not.
Because Leo's a charge character. He's a charge character.
Nope. Definitely not.
Not Zato, because he's a negative edge set play character. Who'd you choose?
Giovanna.
Giovanna.
Yep. Because I can get you in the corner and just pressure you all day long.
Yeah, she's fun.
Yeah, I want to get good with Ino, but she's hard, dude.
She's very hard, and her dash is hard to like get a hold of. She's really good, but you're right. She's there's a high skill floor because she's so technical.
Yeah, it very much reminds me of Master Roshi, where I wanted to get good, but I suck too much.
Right. Damn.
So, all right. Is that it? Is that all we got?
I think that's everything we got. Be looking forward to some fighting game content coming up here.
Yeah. You want to know what we should do though? We haven't done it in a while. We should play Cartmail.
Oh my god! Wow.
Yeah, he's on. All right, let's everyone. So we're gonna go raid Cartmail, and you all better scream raid in the chat, or I'll be very disappointed.
All right, and for those of you listening on the podcast, thank you. We will talk to you next week.
We love you. Bye.
Yeah.